Yo! Hello. Welcome to another episode of your favorite wrestling podcast live on FanFest. It is NFL draft night, so naturally we're locked in for that. Packers can be fucking waiting around forever for this.
I have to say something real quick because of course the draft is in Green Bay, and of course I have never been to Green Bay, and but one thing I've definitely heard is that there ain't shit to do in Green Bay.
We know.
And they did like a wide shot of like the draft area and panning out the Lambeau Field, and all you see is just the neighborhood around Lambeau Field. Like there really ain't nothing out there.
No, there's literally nothing to do. There's nothing to do. Yeah, like the people who live around that they rent out their streets. They just go, hey, you can park here for $20. Like that, like it's just a giant moneymaker for the city. If you own a house there, you just rent out.
You just bankroll. You bankroll on parking. I ain't got no job. I ain't got no job. I just give away my front yard. That's it.
Like for real,
all I'm gonna say, I've been watching this draft for so on and so forth. All these people peppered throughout the crowd. You know who I haven't seen?
There ain't too many.
They're like, I'm not
like,
man,
we're not used to seeing this many people until like August, July.
I know it's a little early for them.
they're showing Atlanta's draft pick. I only see one of us in that crowd, bro.
Bro, that's the first dude I've seen this whole time. That's the first dude.
And he's probably part of the production team. They were just like, go sit out there. Just
wow,
go sit out there.
Get out there. Save face, damn it.
Oh my gosh, I'm here with my amazing panel, my show bros, Grego, Devin the Dude, B-Flim. Oh man, let's go. Speaking of getting tapped out by Gunther, I know I'm getting way ahead of myself.
Thank you, Gunther.
See, and I thought
thank you, Gunther.
I didn't feel bad for him at all. Oh man.
Gunther had a babyface turn and we didn't even know it.
Especially how red he turned. It's like I think Gunther's really choking his ass out. Like it looked.
It was well deserved.
Oh yeah, because you saw there was a point in that where I saw McAfee's face turning blue. I was like, oh shit, like he's actually.
I know. Yeah,
he was doing real. Paul Heyman's dirty work.
Oh man.
Oh, doing the Lord's work. What are we talking about? Okay, we're here to go over. I mean, we did a watch along, but it's been some days. We got the Raw after. I figure we can go over these matches, talk about that, lump in the Raw after. Just open forum. Let's just chat it out, and naturally we have to start off with how the WrestleMania started off. Jey Uso tapping out Gunther. Holy wow. I don't think
nobody saw that coming.
No one saw the tap out naturally, but
yeah, definitely that.
We all thought Jey Uso was gonna win, but tapping him out, I think that was it was a brilliant idea because everyone was expecting him to win. So doing that tap out, it's a way of being dominant. The Gunther rear naked choke, it was a nice added layer, a little twist, a spin to something that we were all knowing and anticipating. I guess the most important part of all of this, yes, it was the match, but I guess it really was like the celebration on Monday with Sami Zayn coming out, and I feel like everybody was waiting for Sami Zayn to hula kick Jey Uso's face off, and it didn't happen. It's still happy, still love, it's still vibes.
I feel like they might go to that, but of course, everything's still so new with Jey being champ. It's like you don't want to just snap right into that. I feel like that's going to be a slow burn to something. Maybe like at least a medium burn where it's like I was talking about this on the Bird Box earlier, like because somebody posted like back when Roman first became champ and he had the cage match with Jay and Jimmy got involved and all that. I was like, wouldn't it be interesting if the roles were reversed and as Jay, grows into being champion, he starts to feel himself. He starts to feel like, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do, and slowly he becomes more heelish, and you see exactly what you're talking about, where it's like he didn't want Jay to become champion because he wanted to turn to Roman, and that's exactly what could happen, where Jay starts to return to Roman, and yeah, like all the yeeting's gonna stop. Gonna be like, no, fuck with this.
Did you catch on Raw? He didn't yeet not one time. Even when, like him coming down, him starting the music up, him getting back on the ring, he didn't yeet.
Yeah, interesting. I didn't even think about that because everybody else was yeeting, but yeah, like, that's interesting. But yeah, like there's so much to this where I'm like, I think that just within Sammy, Jimmy, possibly Roman, there's a few faces where it's like, if depending on where this goes, like there's a lot of different directions that Jake can go. Obviously, first one there probably will be a rematch with Gunther sooner rather than later, depending on all the fallout with him attacking Cole and McAfee. But yeah, I'm not as against this as I was a few weeks ago. I'm just like, this could maybe cook.
The potential's there, right? Like it's always been like we see it, but how is it going to play out, right?
Yeah.
So now that it's there, we're there now. So now it's legitimately, game time. You are legitimately the main event now. So how you're going to act and how you're going to do, and what you're going to do with it. So I'm excited for it. Like Crunk said, let's go. I just knew Mans was coming down to the ring and just about to plant one on Jay, but it's definitely you could tell like that's something that's going to happen down the line. And if Sammy were to get the belt, because we know he's not like getting it from Roman, he's not getting it from Cody, so if Sammy were to get a belt, it would be off of Jay, right? That's like the only legitimate kind of person he could take it from. So we'll see. I can see it either, like you said, playing out how you said, Grego, where he kind of builds himself up, starts to, believe his shit don't stink, so on and so forth, and go from there. Or I could see them kind of going against Sammy at SummerSlam, something like that, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm here. I'm interested. I'm happy for him. Like you said, nobody saw the tap out. We all saw he was going to win, but it was just how. And the shock value of him tapping out Gunther, of all people, was amazing. So hats off to him. He deserved it. Hats off to Gunther for doing the Lord's work on the Raw after. That was amazing. I didn't see the McAfee show the day after, so I didn't. But like I saw, he didn't like have a cast on or anything. Like, so I don't know how much selling he did afterwards. But
I mean, yeah. I think Rock did enough selling for everybody during that show. But I'm sure we'll get to that soon enough. But I think if nothing else, Gunther managed to get the attention off of him tapping by, just basically crashing out on Cole and McAfee. So I think for whatever doubts there could be as far as, like where Gunther goes from here after tapping out, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be just fine.
I'm gonna keep it short because I know we got a lot to cover, but firstly, props to Jay. Secondly, I was very surprised to see him tap out Gunther. But I don't know if y'all know this, but Gunther, in his like 4 losses that he has since he's joined WWE, his first one, I believe, was the NXT UK title against Ilya Dragunov, where he also tapped out in that pretty quickly. Then again, Ilya was straight beating that man's ass.
That's Dragunov, though. Yeah.
That's Ilya Dragunov. So it's still crazy that it was Jey Uso, but Gunther now is tapping out at a 50% clip in his losses, so it's not super crazy. In terms of Jay's title reign, I don't see it lasting all too long. I don't necessarily think that they're gonna build to a beef with Sammy, at least for the title, because I think you'd have to do a lot in the few months that I think Jey Uso is going to hold the title. And I feel like there's a name that hasn't been mentioned yet that we will definitely mention later that will be in that world title conversation after they get done with the current feud that's brewing. But yes. Yes.
We'll
That's
talk
what
about
I'm getting
it.
at. We'll talk about it.
Will we talk about Rusev? Ooh.
Oh yeah.
We should.
Absolutely.
I know all you nerds are all excited about him, but watching him beat down on a couple of tag teams.
Rusev is one of them, but I was thinking of someone else as well.
I know you were. I know you're thinking of someone else. I'm just, zigging to zag. Okay. Let's quickly do this. New Day versus War Raider. That was one of the finishes that fell very flat. I'm happy that the New Day won, but it was the cheats.
That was the interesting, because like there were so many finishes that were kind of flat. It came out of nowhere. That's typically not WWE. See, like they know how to time it right to where like when the moment happens, everybody's ready for that moment and they're able to react afterwards. Like there were way too many finishes where it seemed like it caught everybody off guard. It was like, oh, okay, the match is over. It's like, okay, but yeah, like I mean, I think that with the New Day, like just of course, it's funny how so many things that happened at Mania kind of tied to one man, and that man being Karrion Kross, who apparently was crashing out nonstop over over WrestleMania weekend.
That was
But yeah, like you go back to when Karrion Kross was trying to get New Day to dump Big E, and now look where they are. Say, hey, you ain't gonna get back on top until you cut that dead weight. And what happened? They cut that dead weight.
They cut that dead weight.
So it's it's definitely been a very. I feel like just with the way the tag team division has been kind of put, it's been a little bit distorted, but at the same time, I think they got to the end result that they wanted, where you have New Day back as champs. So, if nothing else, I'm down for that and ready to see like what they do with the belts. They ain't gonna do much on Monday, but hey, at least it's Rusev Day.
Rusev Day is back, baby. It is Rusev Day. See, look. Here's the thing, like if we're going to talk about New Day and War Raiders, it's wrestling, but there's still got to kind of be a sense of realism to it, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm fine with matches that sometimes end, because not every, and I get it's WrestleMania, but like not every match has to be this dramatic played out story. Sometimes in sports, stuff just ends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And sometimes in UFC,
You know what?
One
And I
shot.
thought about that, and I thought about that too. It's like I felt like they were trying to put like possibly like a UFC twist to it, where it's like sometimes, hey, that knockout punch comes out of nowhere, or like that ground pound. It's like, yeah, it's like you like suddenly you're just in that spot and the match is over. So I think it's kind of different for how wrestling typically works, but at the same time, I do think that that's something that can be utilized for sure.
Yeah. So I'm not really too against it. One, we all knew they were going to win it, right? They're heels. So, and especially with the heels winning, like it has to sometimes just kind of, it doesn't have to be a dramatic played out story for a heel to win. So I'm not mad at it. Clearly, we've been down this road before with the New Day. Of course, they haven't had obviously Big E this time, but they're still the New Day. They're still the I don't know how many times they've been the tag team champs at this point. I forget, but like they know how to hold a belt and they know what to do with it. So I'm excited to see what it looks like from a heel standpoint. They started out as heels. I don't know if people remember that. The New Day was a heel faction when they first started. They just got over with the fans. So like they know how to be heels. So I'm very interested to see how this works out. I'm very excited. Rusev, right? I'm happy to see him back. Of course, we talked about this already a couple episodes ago. We knew Rusev was signed. So happy to see him back. He looks amazing. He looks dominant all over again. I mean, like we talked about the other day, like he looks like prime Rusev against Cena form, where he just looked absolutely dominant and unstoppable. So I'm very excited to see what they do with him. As we just said, he interrupted a tag match. So the mystique around it was that he's going to have a tag partner. Like, why interrupt the tag match if, why would you do that against the New Day, against Alpha Academy, if you're not going to have a tag partner? So I'm interested to see how that goes. Or was it really just like, I'm here to wreck shop? Yeah, I'm here to just fuck shit up. And it don't matter what match is happening. But very excited to see him. He absolutely deserves that title space, and we'll see where it goes. But happy to see him back. I was always a fan back in the day, and yeah, I'm excited to see him back.
I mean, I'm hopeful.
More
I'm
Kronk.
excited. No, I'm gonna keep it moving. I'll keep it moving. And I'll save my hateration and holleration
hater,
for later.
Man, you are being a class A hater right now.
I'm just unimpressed. Like, bro, you showed up and you beat. Like, I'm just tired of Otis just being there to get tossed around by other.
So that's an Otis problem, not a Rusev problem.
The fact that they had him just beat down these two lame tag teams. Okay, so who is a tag team? Like, you team him up with oh boy, the other person who's new and gonna be joining. Like, who do you give him as a tag team partner? Like who
Rusev? Nobody.
Yeah,
actually.
Rusev.
No.
That's
not what he was there to do.
Give me big meaty men, bro. Give me my big meaty men tag team.
Actually, I do like that idea, but not like all that was there to do, which is basically say, hey, I'm about to wreck shit up and I'm back. That's all that was there for. That's all it was.
Just for him to get speared by Braun Breaker later. That's all that's gonna happen.
Oh, they're both heels, so no.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Jay Cargill, Naomi. Jade got the win. I was really hoping for Naomi, but it all makes sense. Let's start here. Not necessarily about the match, but how did Jade look to you? Because there were definitely moments where it was still very clunky, and you would have hoped and thought that this match would have been practiced for them like 1,000,001 times, where this should have looked nice and smooth, and that was the point of having Naomi wrestling with her, because she's a pro's pro, and it would have made Jade look the best that she ever has. And sure, there were the spots and Jade Cargill is Jade Cargill, so she looks great. But has she really progressed? She's been in the WWE now, what, a year and a half, almost 2 years now, and
Year and a half, yeah.
Yeah, have we seen much growth from her?
Yes, I would definitely say yes. I think that like just going back from when she was in AEW, like just the simple stuff that she used to do back there, I feel like now it's a lot more smoother. Mind you, I think that what's helped out a lot is that, of course, she was in the tag team with Bianca for so long, so the focus wasn't necessarily on her alone in most of her matches, because you also had to account for Bianca and their opponents. I feel like it was only just a little while ago where she really just had like her first one-on-one match on the main roster, and now you had this match here. I would say that she's grown a lot. Obviously, it's not perfect, but at the same time, I feel as though just given her overall physicality and strength, it's not like she has to be Daniel Bryan. She doesn't have to be that person. She's big, she's strong. You could essentially call her a giant for the women's division. So it's not like you have to do a whole lot. It's just a matter of what the things that you do, you want to make sure you do them well. So I like personally, I feel like that's, from what I can recall, that's probably like at least a top 3 match for her. Right? And hopefully, as she moves into, I guess, being a singles now, she'll get that repetition going on the road and everything, and having her own matches, and she'll get better that way. So I think that in due time she'll be fine. But yeah, I think that what they needed to do in this match, they handled. And of course, the spots that she did do, I was like, that's actually pretty impressive. So not that many people could do that. So like I said, well, it's full speed ahead now.
I would agree. I think she has grown, and the big thing is that I don't think she had a match. She may have had one match since coming off the injury before that Naomi match.
She had one. Yeah.
She had one. Okay,
yeah.
So I mean, that's still the bare minimum going into like your first WrestleMania match. And from what we got, it's about what we expected, or what I expected at least. It wasn't going to be like the cleanest match, but the most important thing was it still told the story well. And I mean, we saw signs of life out of Jade, and that she's been growing as a wrestler. So I feel like she still does need a little bit more time with Naomi.
So it's like a bunch of house shows, basically. Need to do more house shows, but
not
someone like her. Okay.
No,
Sorry,
yeah. So house shows would help a lot, but I don't even know if they have that many scheduled.
Oh yeah, they stopped doing as many. Yeah.
Yeah, and B,
whatever they have, she needs to be on them, all of them.
Right. I feel like
down NXT. Like, let's be honest. Like, why didn't she start there? Like, she really could have got a buzz, a build from there. Like, and we could. I mean, we here now, but
my thought there,
she's bigger than that.
No. I think that she was able to negotiate a pretty decent deal to where putting her on NXT probably wouldn't have made much sense money wise, and they figured, okay, like we could at least put her with Bianca. That way she gets more acclimated to the main roster. She gets the rub from being with Bianca, and hopefully she grows, with time. Of course, there's all these stories that came out last week as far as like she did have some beef with some women on the roster, and there's a clip of Shayna Baszler like damn near like choking her out for real during the match, but and that might have been what led to her taking the time off and everything. But I think that I do think that she's coming in with at least halfway sincere intentions. So just a matter of now she has to get better now on her own, and I think that she has to look. That part's never an issue. I think that now it's just a matter of putting it all together in the ring, and possibly and possibly doing it better on the mic than she has before. Because I feel like that's definitely an opportunity where she can still grow and get better.
Overall, I mean, look, that was her best match. Let's call it is what it is. And like I saw the match getting like a lot of hate online, and honestly, like if you're hating on the match, you're just a hater. Like that's just you've just decided you're going to be a hater, and that's just who you are. That's been who you've been this entire
Black
time.
women on a WrestleMania? What? No,
It was a good match. Like, were we expecting match of the year? No, we weren't. Like,
No,
we knew
That's fair.
we
That's fair.
knew what we were getting with this, and I think they delivered what we were expecting. So, I mean, does she need work? Of course she does. But is she doing what needs to be done? Like, yeah. I was a fan. I enjoyed it. We knew she was going to win. Trend looked good. She looked good. I mean, I really didn't feel like it was botchy. Like, I mean, wasn't perfect, but like it wasn't botchy. She looked good. She had good spots, and let's see where it goes. Clearly they do believe in her, in some capacity. So like, there's a lot of pressure on her. She knows the pressure's on her. She's doing what needs to be done. She's working with Bianca. She's working with Naomi. Like, it doesn't seem like. I mean, from what they were kind of saying, it doesn't seem like it's done either. So,
and keep in mind, like, of course, they were talking about the new reality show that is coming out on Netflix about the writers' room, and if anybody caught it, they actually like showed like I guess like one of the like original card plans for WrestleMania, and the plan was to have Jade go against Nia Jax for the women's title. So clearly they see her going in the right direction. So to would have at least wanted that much for, of course, like, things change and things at least we're able to work with Naomi. So like I said, just I feel like Triple H here, just enjoy the wrestling, okay? Just enjoy the wrestling, and it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
That's fair.
that's what it is. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Like, are you enjoying? Are you enjoying it as a fan or not? Like, are you here to critique or are you just here to enjoy it? And I guess that's really why I don't hate too many results. I don't hate too many matches too much. I'm a fan, and I understand how the game goes. And I mean, like, it has to be truly like a bad product for me to hate it. But at the end of the day, I'm a fan.
We'll get to
take
that
it
point
for
soon
face
enough.
value. And I was going to say that we will get there, and I was exactly going to say that. Like, we will get there. So, but I take stuff for face value, and it is what it is. I enjoyed the match. Congrats, Jade. Congrats, Naomi. And I'm ready to see it keep going.
Cool.
Speak your mind, Crump.
Oh no, I'm moving on. It is that match is what it is. It's I'm hey, like I said, I'm not here to hate on two black women doing their thing, being the first
in a non-title match.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
ages,
like
yeah.
I'm not here to hate on it at all. Like at all. Jacob Fatu handling business, defeating LA Knight, becoming the new champion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually missed this match because I had to go run out and deliver some jerseys and everything, and
it was all right.
But yeah, I mean, the end result happened. So like I said, we all gas, no brakes at this point.
Yeah, Flynn, what were your thoughts on it? Actually,
it was a solid match. Firstly, I want to say like we got what we expected out of Jacob Fatu in that match, but also props to LA Knight because I feel like the stream before where we were talking about it, y'all were kind of talking crazy about LA Knight, but he put up a great performance, to be honest.
Saying y'all, and I know who you're talking about.
Hey, listen, yeah, I had to be general, but there were a couple of spots where LA Knight really reminded people like he can wrestle.
I still got this.
Yeah, he still got it. And I feel like he pulled out a couple spots, particularly I'm thinking about the BFT when Jacob was jumping off the top rope. That was like,
that was
cool.
cool.
you got a bag for real.
That was cool. That was
But
cool.
he also made Jacob look really good. Jacob looked the most winded that I've seen him in since coming into WWE in that match, which was not concerning, but what's the word I'm looking for? Interesting. We'll just leave it at that.
You were just aware of it. You were aware.
Yeah, you were just aware of it. But I think LA Knight did really well to cope with that and play to his bag well and put together a pretty solid match overall.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be honest, those were the most spots of the entire night. Like,
oh yeah,
if we're gonna call a spade what a spade, that match had the most spots of the entire night, and they were good spots. Like you said, LA Knight did the damn thing. So, like, we got to give my man his respect. Like, my man took a good loss. Shout out to him. So, I mean, we knew this though. Like, or I can say I knew this. You know, like LA Knight he's not new to the game. He may be fairly new to WWE, but he's been in the ring for a minute, and he knows how to make his opponent look good. So, like, it was a great match. It was I think a lot of people had low expectations for the match because we kind of knew what it was, but they made it look damn good. So, yeah, I'm excited to see it. You can kind of see Jacob needs to condition. Like, you can see it. Like, it's not bad, but it's like maybe you can tone up a little bit, and then you would really like. I mean, if you kind of had if we put like Jacob Fatu on like a Rusev body, for example, like that would be it. Everything he can do with Rusev's body, like he would kind of be. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
But the match was great. Overall, I was highly entertained, and it was low key, probably number 2, number 3 match of the night for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see that.
El Grande Americano defeats Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix replaced Rey Mysterio. I mean, it was a fun match. I had a good time watching this match.
I would agree.
Hey, I missed most of that one. I think I missed about maybe half of that one. I guess because obviously they didn't do a mask angle where Grande lost his mask, but so without that, I feel like it made sense for Grande to win. I think between what happened there and what happened on Raw, I feel like they already are probably looking towards linking Phoenix and Penta together, probably sooner rather than later. So, yeah, I guess we'll see where that goes.
That's fair. It's a good shout. And I love the promo of El Grande Americano, having them like all the photos and have them celebrating, and like I love it. Like, obviously, like they're just fully embracing that he sucks type of vibes. And I mean, it's kind of what you got to do when you're doing a character like this.
Yeah, overall the match, I mean, it was a like for like swap between Rey Fenix and Rey Mysterio. Like, no matter who was in that match, the same spots, the same everything could have happened. As I called before, like I called El Grande winning. I mean, Rey didn't need the win. And Rey Mysterio didn't need the win, and Rey Fenix is a week old into the game, so you knew he wasn't winning either. So it is what it is. Oh man, this guy has like an American flag on his lapel, and like I'm sorry, I'm watching the draft.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, it was a good match overall too. I mean, Chad Gable, El Grande Americano, whoever you want to call him, the man can wrestle. He's a very good wrestler. He's very technical. And to compete, to be in the lucha realm and look as good as he did, it's good for him. I really want to see, how they unmask him. That I guess that's really the part that we're waiting for. We thought they were going to do like a doppelganger, kind of angle at some point. That didn't happen. So yeah, and especially with Penta getting beat down with the return of JD McDonough, yeah, we'll see if they bring the Lucha Brothers back. That's who they are, right? They both got their fame together, Ray Phoenix and Penta. So that's what.
Why does everybody keep saying that El Grande Americano is Chad Gable? He's El Grande Americano.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it really sucks that Chad Gable didn't get a WrestleMania match.
Just take another job from an American, man.
After the year he had this past year, he put in some great work.
Just take another job from an American,
He deserves it.
Take another job. Take our jobs.
Oh my gosh. Tiffany Stratton loses some teeth, but in the end she got the W.
It's Teefy time.
Oh, Thunder and Thunder.
Personally, I like this match. And like, at least for me, it was probably my second favorite match of the night, of night one. And like, I feel as though that match told a story as far as like, one, this is why Charlotte is as good as she is, because she is that chick in the ring. However, I think we are reaching a point, not just with her, but also with another woman in the Four Horsewomen. And I feel like they're trying to move away from that generation slightly. Of course, there is one that's still kind of hanging on in her own way, but I feel as though we're in a different spot nowadays, and they don't have to lean on them quite as much as they used to. And yeah, like now you've had a second consecutive WrestleMania for Charlotte, where she's losing in a world title match. And yeah, I mean, she's getting older. You don't know how that knees is, going to be long term. It's like, hey, they don't have to lean on her as much. But however, I do think that it would be wise on her, if she ever wants to get over with this crowd whatsoever, to not take time off. Like, actually show that she's in here for the grind and not just waiting for a title shot to be handed to her. Like, be a part of the roster and actually, show some leadership and shit.
Oh. Okay, Grego. Wow.
I mean, she's one of the old heads now on the roster. So, like, in a lot of ways, like, everything that kind of happened with that moment a few weeks back, I'm like, you're supposed to be the leader in this. Like, you're supposed to be a vet. Like, you're the one showing that you can't handle it. So, like, get your shit together.
What do you mean she can't handle it? It was Tiffy's boy that was in her DMs. What are you talking about?
I mean, ain't nobody believe that shit. Ain't nobody believe that one. You're like, really? Like, if this had been Charlotte from like 10 years ago, I'd be like, okay, maybe. This one, I'm like, not this one.
Maybe he wants a sugar mama,
Nah.
Yeah. It was, again, another spectacular match. Overall, like, can we say? I mean, if we want to talk about this more later, like, the women's matches definitely carried all of WrestleMania.
There wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, it was the women's matches that were the highlights, if we're going to be completely honest. Of course, outside of like Seth, Roman, and CM Punk.
Yeah. I see that.
Those were all literally the best matches. And you just gotta respect it. You love to see it. And I mean, are you shocked? Like they've all
Not
worked
really.
so hard. And they all, everybody's a superstar. Like nobody looked bad there wasn't a single bad match. There wasn't a single bad person the entire time. They all absolutely delivered. Another spectacular match. As I kind of said before, with Tiffy, like she had to legitimize her belt. And Charlotte was kind of like the final boss for her. And she overcame that. And all all build up aside to it, whether how personal it got or so on and so forth. That's still Charlotte, and this is still Tiffy. So it was good for her to knock that off in a sense and kind of legitimize. I don't know why that word's so hard for me. Her reign in a sense. So no, it was a great overall match. Both of them can put on a good match. Charlotte still is Charlotte. So it was a good look overall. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. But awesome. Yeah, spectacular match.
Yeah, I mean, not much to add. I feel like there were moments within the match where they didn't feel like they meshed as well as we thought they would when we were fantasy booking this. But I mean, overall, I think it was a good showing. It was big for Tiffany to legitimize this title reign. Do
you think it's a lack of chemistry or just like the fact that I feel as though, given the way that
they don't like each other,
right?
Yeah, it definitely felt like there were points where Charlotte was sandbagging Tiffy.
I feel like
she knocked the teeth out. You're like, I'm leaving here with something.
I feel like the way the match was built, like you kind of had to have it where, like there was going to be a struggle, if not a straight up fight, like if he's starting off, and eventually like they kind of found their groove. But I feel like at first, like I think you kind of had to like hash it out and go from there. But I feel as though mission accomplished. So now it's like, okay, like we have a new person that we can build this belt around for a bit and see where it goes with Tiff.
Hey, and my guy doing the thing, Paul Heyman, doing the double turn. Seth Rollins beating CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Holy shit. And B Flynn, we're gonna start off with Chicago's own. How are you holding up? You feeling any better after all that?
Man, Monday didn't make it better. But that was we're gonna get to like the overall like Mania as a whole. Especially what I think my top matches of the weekend were. This is definitely probably it's either one or two. It's top two, maybe not two. This was definitely the match of Mania, though. The storytelling within the match was impeccable. You had three professionals being professionals, even though allegedly two of them don't like one of them. Allegedly, but man, what can you not say about this match except that it was everywhere that it should have been. It was everything that it should have been, and it set the tone it set the bar at least for the entire weekend for sure.
John Cena and Cody Rhodes got in the way. Like this should have been the night two finisher. Like
now, when you put it like that, there's definitely a good argument for it. I feel as though, like, here's the thing. I mean, there's so many smart fans nowadays because we have so much access to everything that you you kind of already have a feel as far as what to expect, but it still comes down to the execution and how like it actually gets you. And I have to say, like the way they pulled off the double turn with Paul was absolutely masterful. And it's because like, of course, we were talking about like during the watch along, like when Paul gave the chair to the Punk, I was like, why is he getting into the ring? And I'm like, oh, here we go. And then like almost as soon as he nut shot at Punk, I was like, hold up, we're not done yet. Like this is still going. And then like Paul was just so obvious, like for the Shield, do it for the Shield. And it's like,
there he is, my tribal chief.
Yeah. And I'll just wait. I was like, how does Paul get around Roman? And all of a sudden, man. And then he had to do all the he's like,
I know the arm ringing. Oh my god!
I was like, you meant that shit. Like
I know he's tired of
clearly, Paul Roman done messed up. Paul somehow. I was like, I need to get you back. And I feel as though, of course, especially given how things ended on night one, I was left a little bit on night two. I was left a little bit at the end, but of course, what ended up happening on Raw in the follow, I was like, oh, we got something interesting.
Yes.
And
Ron Breaker. Okay, so let's just keep it moving. Who's going to be the third to join the group?
I see a lot of people talking about Carmelo, but if it was up to me,
don't you think it would be another veteran?
Well, see, people have this idea that this group's going to be kind of built like Evolution, where you have where you have Seth as Triple H. You have Braun as Batista, and then you have Carmelo be the Randy up in that. And I can see that. However, at least for me, that third pick would actually be Montez.
So then Montez turns on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we've been calling it.
That would be heartbreaking.
It really would be.
It would,
especially now that they have the title and everything.
Yeah, because because we just saw what happened with Lyra and Becky on Raw. They lost the belts just like that, and Becky turned on Lyra. Spoiler alert! And I'm like, yeah, because I feel like, of course, we did mention on SmackDown that the tag title match with the Profits and the Motor City Machine Guns, that ended up in a DQ because DIY got involved. So let's say they have another rematch on Friday, and then as a result of that, Profits lose the belts, and then in the aftermath, boom, 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 we have a split with the Profits, and yeah.
I need it to be a little bit different. I need him to do the whole tag me in, and then he drops down and
whatever works.
I just need a little twist up, because if we have another just like Becky and Lyra where he loses and then loses his mind, it just feels a lot. But
that would be my pick. That would be my
no. I mean, I would actually really love that. I mean, it would hurt my heart seeing it happen, but to see him teamed up with them, that would be really the push that I would like to see. Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, the match is already confirmed, right? Like they already did that. So I mean, the groundwork is already laid out there. So, and I mean, they've been calling it for how many years now?
Dude,
Tez needs to kind of break off from Angelo, and I mean, I don't disagree. Whether he actually joins that faction or not, I think that. That'd be interesting to see for sure. And I mean, yeah, we got to talk about Carmelo Hayes, right? I mean, he won the Andre the Giant Memorial.
He did.
That was big. I thought he was gonna, kind of turn on Miz there once he wanted to, but he didn't yet. So, but no, I mean, it's time, right? It is the man's time. He's been a superstar. Like he was running NXT for a while. And they kind of let him cook a little bit on the main roster, but now it's really time to put the light on the boy and let him cook. And so I think this is really a great start for it, regardless. I don't want him to like be walking around carrying a trophy. Like that's so corny to me when they do that. But it's definitely time for the man to get his shine and to show him that like it's really his time. So yeah, I can see it being either one, both, and really be like Evolution in a sense. Or like maybe like Team Angle, I don't know, something like that along those lines, with the vet and all the young boys. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm really excited about that. Yeah, that was crazy. We knew, like, obviously that safe deal with Braun, especially once he lost his title, like he didn't get pinned for it, that he was only bigger and better. So to be that kind of mystery man that popped up is another Paul Heyman guy. Yeah. So
I mean, I guess we can kind of go into it already because I mean, like, and I made sure to put this on the YFW Blue Sky, like the seeds for Heyman and Braun, like that's been there for a hot minute. Like back when Heyman was going on to NXT and he was doing it on the behalf of Roman Reigns, but of course I think he already was like, yeah, like, oh, I'm gonna get my hands on this one, pause, and make sure that yeah, when the time's right, yeah, this gonna be my guy. And I feel like even with where they are now, I feel like, yeah, like there'll come a point in time when Heyman got to choose, and I don't see him letting LeBron go. That ain't happening.
I'm gonna throw a curveball here. I'm not feeling full Evolution game plan here.
I don't either. Just to be fair, I don't either.
I'm instead gonna go throw 3 names out there.
Okay.
Like 3 names out there. First one's Becky Lynch. I feel like with her turning heel at the same time as Seth, there's definitely a possibility within there. The next 2, I'm going full tag team here. Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Nathan Frazier already has a big connection with Seth Rollins. He's like Seth Rollins light in NXT right now. So they just lost their titles, so they're due to be brought up. And I think that is a great position to bring them up in as Paul.
It was a damn good match too. If you didn't watch it,
it was a fantastic match. All the stand and deliver was fantastic. To be honest, that was a great show. Honestly, the best show of the weekend for me. But,
it really was.
I feel like now that they're free of the NXT tag titles, there's nothing left for them in NXT. Personally, I think they have the potential to be immediately the best tag team on the main roster as soon as they come up.
You don't think that, because like typically Fraxim always has like that tension between each other, and I feel like at some point, especially now with them losing the belts, I feel as though either they'll be brought up together to the main roster, or you may go ahead and play that breakup angle. Like it's all like it's like their whole run has been so interesting because I feel as though they've always had this underlying tension the whole time, where it's like Nathan Frazier wants to go one way and Axiom wants to be the more honorable person, and they're like, but somehow they all make it work. But yeah, I feel like now without the belts, it's like I can see them definitely moving up, but at the same time, I'm like, like, do we want to go ahead and navigate this route first? But we'll see.
I will respond to that in 2 ways. One, part of the charm of Fraxium, in my opinion, is the fact that they have come probably way too close to breaking up several times.
Yes.
And every time Fraxium is fine. They figure out a way. So there's that is endearing to their characters. Plus the way they became a tag team was actually fighting each other. In the which tournament was that? I don't remember which tournament it was, but in a tournament.
Was the Dusty Cup?
I think
Dusty
so.
Cup,
Yeah, the Dusty Rhodes Cup.
I think it was Dusty Cup, and then they became a tag team, and it's been great from there. The second angle to that is that if they decide to break them up before coming to the main roster, that would be a blow to what you could possibly do to the tag team.
Fair.
So I think it would be better to bring them up, have them do a main roster run with the tag belts, and kind of elevate other teams along with them, because they just had a damn near 5-star match with Hank and Tank. Like
Hank and Tank, it made them look amazing. Hank and Tank look freaking amazing, dog.
So they will be able not just to hang with any tag team on the main roster. Like, just thinking about the fantasy booking of them versus Motor City Machine Guns, them versus DIY, them versus the Street Profits, them versus the New Day. There's a lot of potential there to kind of elevate the tag division into something it's really not right now in the main roster, before they kind of phase out and like do their own thing.
Yeah. No, that's
I can see that.
I like that a lot. I like it a lot. Yeah. Okay.
Also, before we move on, remember earlier when I said the one person that we haven't mentioned yet could be in that world title scene soon?
Mm-hmm.
Seth fucking Rollins, bro.
I know. I definitely see it. I feel like, depending on like how soon we navigate away from Seth and Braun against Punk and Roman. Oh yeah, that I feel like that's going to be easily on the menu.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Seth as a tag team title champ. Love that. Io Sky defeating Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley and officially getting her chance to be her.
Man, I'm still just stunned that Bianca took the L. Especially considering, like, of course, like I guess they were making too much of a point that she's never been pinned at WrestleMania, and it's like, of course, I guess that's a jinx. You got to go ahead and take that pin, but yeah, like, just to kind of follow up on earlier, like, I feel as though in a lot of ways, like, the women know when the lights are on and they fucking bring us. It's almost, I don't want to say like they're hungrier, but at the same time, I think they all know it's like, this is our time to shine, and they fucking bring it, and they definitely brought it on both nights. And I've like, there were definitely so many twists in this match where I definitely thought there was a moment where Maria could have won. I definitely thought there was a moment when Bianca hit her KOD on Rhea. I thought that was it. And and just the finisher that Io hit it, I was like, oh shit. Like, yeah, like this is why she was there, because I think so many people, easily expected Rhea versus Bianca, but Io showed us like, yeah, there's a reason why, I'm in this spot too, and there's a reason why she's winning. And I think that either way, whatever happens in the aftermath, whether it's Rhea and Bianca or something with Io, like I feel as though like we're good here. And of course, like with what happened on Monday, with them just giving a little sample of Miss Vicarious, like, hey, we good right now. Right now, we cooking the gas right now. So yeah.
Yeah. Again, one to kick off WrestleMania, that was easily, I would say, probably, like I said, top 3 matches. You could say Punk and Roman. You can say
Yeah,
that one.
one
You
of
can
those
say
two. Yep.
Jacob and LA Knight. Like those are easily the best 3 matches of the night. And I may say like I may put EO like at number 2, honestly, because like that was just a damn good match all around. Like they all took amazing spots. They all had their momentum, and yeah, the way EO won it with the moonsault on Bianca, I'm so mad.
Bro.
So freaking mad. I was the emotions were like one wanted to go this way and one wanted to go that way so bad because I was so happy for Io. I was so freaking mad for Bianca. But it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, like I'm happy Io won it. But yeah, it was by far, bar none, like a 10 out of 10 no notes match. And yeah, like, and then to follow up with it on Monday with Stephanie Vaquer, like that lady is going places when she gets called up. Like she's already the NXT champion and she knows how to wrestle. And even the match with Roxanne Perez on NXT was damn good as well. Those are also two
and
good
that's
ones.
just it, because you had her work on Saturday, in her title match, had her working
A
on
damn good
Monday,
one.
had her working on Monday, had her working again on Tuesday. Like low key, like they were already kind of like forming things around where like she'll be pretty high up once she moves up to the main roster. Like it's gonna come pretty fast.
Yeah, and she has a look too. Like I like the horns. I like the Psylocke physique. Like it's all there. Like she is a damn good wrestler. But no, like I like what they're doing in NXT with her too. With her, with Jordan Grace, of course. Like she's gonna get the belt at some point. She'll probably be next up once they actually decide to move Vicaire to the main roster. Um, but yeah, going back to Io, Bianca, and Rhea, they all 3 of them are champion caliber women. It could have gone either way, no matter no matter how it went, either way could have happened. And I think everybody would have been kind of okay with it, with how the match went. Ultimately, like we knew Io was probably most likely going to win it. It was just a matter of how, but they all had their spots. They all had the momentum where the match, you just didn't know who was coming out on top and how it was going to happen. And to like, they know what they did kicking off that match with kicking off WrestleMania with that match. It was all like, it easily was match of the night outside of like Seth and Roman and Punk.
Living a life like it's golden.
I
Living a life
do
like
have
it's
to get on
golden.
topic
Living
before
a
I say
life
what I
like it's
gotta say.
golden.
I know Crunk was trying to keep himself composed that entire time since Green Bay just drafted their first wide receiver since 2002.
Oh my gosh! Just watching the comp.
I know he was pumped. But firstly, what I must say is that we're not going to comment too much on the triple threat that happened at Stand and Deliver with Javon, Boba, and Trick. But all 3 triple threats that they put on that weekend were the 3 matches of the entire weekend.
Yeah.
They did not miss on a single one. Just to quickly comment, Oba is a master of the triple threat match. He's had so many bangers with multi-man matches. He's just got it figured out to a T. He's just got wrestling figured out to a T at this point as well. And,
which is crazy.
So I'm excited to see how that progresses. But back on topic, this was definitely the match of the night for night 2 as well. It was a great way to kick off. Once again, you had 3 professionals being professionals. You knew how good all 3 of them were and could be. This one really put Io on the map for sure. A, because she was being ignored in storyline. B, because you have already fully established names in Bianca and Rhea. And you don't, like, Io is the one kind of outlier in that equation, which there are people, she has her fan base, there are people that know how valid she is. I don't think the regular mainstream WWE fan would be hip to that until this match.
And that's the crazy thing about it, is because like I was listening to I think Punk had a interview with The Ringer last week, and he was saying that if it had been up to him, like this match would have actually been a main event match, and because if nothing else, it was because of Io, because she's been so good, and how many opportunities is she going to get at this spot? And because she had the match last year with Bailey and lost, and it's like, no, she's still riding that wave, and like that only helps her out, becoming a billable star going forward. And yeah, like this was Io's moment, and you don't want to not everybody gets those moments. Like Punk's a prime example of that, and you want to take advantage while the moment is hot, and get the people that deserve it, that earned it, that opportunity. So Io, she deserved this and then some. She earned it and then some. And I feel as though going forward, she'll easily be somebody that they can build around. As again, this women's division is about to get so stacked, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's it. They got to figure something out.
Good problem to have. It's a good problem to have.
Okay, we got to keep it moving. We still got so many matches to go. McIntyre, Damian Priest. This is the one that, yeah.
I think it was an enjoyable match for what it was.
No, it was a good match, but it's like
it's not much to say about it.
Yeah.
To be honest, but it was a solid match. It did its job.
Yeah, it was fine.
Dirty Dom, you can call him the champ.
That one. Like, I know we were talking about all the triple threats, but honestly, all the multi-people matches, they all did a thing. And this one, I was, again, we talked about last week, they could have gone any direction here. And now mind you, I don't think people realize that Dom lives in Vegas. So that's his city. And I don't want to say it's necessarily a hometown reaction, because of course Mania crowds are from all over the place, but he got pops he did. He was Ray. And and that went into Monday as well. And it's okay, I'm not sure where they're gonna go with this, but I feel like there's something that could be built from this. But I feel as though if nothing else, I think people are, or at least showing appreciation for the amount of work that he's put in the past couple of years as a heel. And it is of course, Mania crowds can kind of go all over the place. But I feel like this was a major step for Dominic. When you actually reach the moments, we're actually getting somewhere now. We're actually showing growth here. So if nothing else, I don't feel like anybody else was necessarily hurt from this. I feel like this was definitely an opportunity for Dom to level up. And I'm low key excited to see what happens next.
And the belt looks great on him, and him getting out of the ring quickly to avoid. I was gonna say FNBL or whatever the abbreviations was on his mask and everything. The Finn Balor when he came out with everybody coming out in their own mask, but then him running back past him to celebrate in the ring by himself to really get his true WrestleMania moment. That was, I was here for it. And then the next day, him taking off Penta and JD McDonough, big head is back, and Finn Balor visibly shooken and had no idea that JD McDonough is back. I am locked into the storyline now. This is gonna be very fun.
Yeah, Mr. Funko Pop is back, and shockingly, Finn didn't look too thrilled about that. So
because he went straight to Dom and not to Finn.
Yeah, it's you're supposed to be my friend, but the layers that they keep laying with Judgment Day after all this time, we're going on 3 years now. It's it's a testament to the people that have been in that group over the years, and I'm we ain't done just yet, so let's keep this thing going.
That group started with Edge.
Yeah.
And look where we are.
It started with Edge, Damian Priest, and eventually Rhea. And yeah, of course, none of those three are in the group anymore, and they're still going. So yeah,
Say it's better than ever. Some could say it's better than ever.
Happy for Dom. He deserved it. It was his time. We all knew what it was, and yeah, let's keep going.
I believe in Joe Hendry. Oh my gosh. Wow. And that was such a great match. It was such a great look for Joe Hendry. I know people like booing on things, but like I'm happy that Joe Hendry understood the greatness of that moment and he's happy with how it went. Because yeah, that's the only way he should take it is just positively.
The interesting thing here. Go ahead, B-Flum.
I think that was big for Joe Hendry and big for TNA just to have the TNA world title on the WrestleMania stage. And I saw people being like, "Oh, this was a squash. It was not good for Joe. He lost in 5 minutes to Randy Orton." It was a competitive 5 minutes. Like that's
it was. It really was.
A, it was a competitive 5 minutes. And B, I think people forget who Joe Hendry really is. He is a comedic wrestler in nature. So the fact that he was able to get all of his little bits off within the match and then still have that and it meshed so well with Randy because he did that little turnaround into the RKO. It was good. And he got a handshake and props from Randy after the match, even though he did get RKO'd again. But he still got that handshake and that moment with the WrestleMania crowd and Randy. That's big for Joe, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I mean, clearly, like the momentum from him. I mean, he was on NXT then right after. So, like, clearly they believe in Joe Hendry. I really wasn't trying to say, but like clearly, like there's something there for him, and I was happy that he came out. Like I think we were all expecting Rusev to come out then, but with Joe Hendry, like it was a good, safe pick. It was a replacement match at the same time, with Kevin Owens being injured, but it did what it had to do. Like, yeah, I mean, of course, you could say it was a squash match, but like you said, like, he got his spots off. Like he still was able to be himself in the match, and it did what it had to do. It served a purpose, and like I think it got him the respect he deserved in the ring. Like nobody, like at the end of the day, like this is still the WWE compared to TNA, right? They're not going to let TNA outcompete them, at the same time. Like they're still gonna hold that dominance. I mean, this is, Sting and Triple H all over again. This is still WCW versus WWE, right? Like no matter what the greatness is of this company, it's still not going to outshine WWE. And for a quick match, it did what it had to do. I'm happy for Joe Hendry. He's clearly not going to disappear. He's going to be on many more WWE shows clearly, and yeah, good for him.
I have to say that the way this was executed went much, much, much better than I really could have expected, because I feel like when, like in all the different groups that I've been, like I did hear like at least a suggestion of Joe Hendry, and of course my thought was I don't think that they would use a TNA guy in this spot because it's like, do they want to give someone from TNA that shine on their biggest show? And all things considered, like that it pulled off so well. I feel like the thankful thing about WrestleMania crowds is that you have so many smart fans from all over, and they locked in so quickly, and they popped so quickly, and they were into it. And even for the people who weren't necessarily aware of Joe Hendry, it's like it's easy to get into right away. And
yes,
and I feel as though even for what you could say negatively about this moment about it being a squash, like at the end of the day, you got the TNA World Championship belt on not just WWE TV, you got it on WrestleMania, and just that little bit of brand awareness can go so far. And depending on what TNA is able to do with this moment, whatever negative there could be can be made into a massive, massive positive. So I feel like, good on Joe Hendry. He was ready for the moment. Good, obviously, and the thing about it being a squash, you have to understand, it's Randy Orton. Now, if he had lost to fucking Andrade or Otis, then it would look bad. I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing that you lose to Randy Orton, 14-time world champion. Probably still, even now, probably a top 5 talent in the world. Like, there are certain guys out here that losing to them is no slight whatsoever. And, trying to say that, losing in 5 minutes to Randy Orton is bad. I'm like, no. That they got everything off they needed to get off, and it absolutely worked great. So, yeah, good on Joe Hendry.
And it's the RKO. It's the one move in wrestling that still is unstoppable. That you were instantly out.
And they made a viral moment with that. Like, they got all these different shots of that. I'm like, dog, you can't buy that type of attention and buzz. I'm like, dog, just sometimes you got to just take a step back and just hey, this ain't as bad as you might want to think. Like I said, I could understand the negative arguments. I just think that for how they were able to pull it off, they'll be fine.
And let's keep it a bean. Joe Hendry has the best song out right now. Let's keep it honest. Let's be honest.
And he made it himself. He's the artist.
It's my voice. But no, that all that shit was great. I'm like, nah, it was exactly what it needed to be, and they pulled it off great because nobody saw that shit coming. So it's like, yeah,
an unexpected feel good moment, which is very hard to do. And
given how the show was about to go, they needed that.
This is also he's also about to have a very big program in NXT. I won't say anything more than that because I know some people still need to catch up. But
thank you.
He did show up on Tuesday.
Then you need to watch that, Crump. Real talk.
Yeah, I mean, I will. I will watch it in the morning.
He's about to be heavily inserted.
Love it. Logan Paul defeating AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Very weird way to end the match with his buddy and the carrying cross of it all. And
did you hear that they were trying to get Stone Cold to be in the Prime bottle?
Oh God, I'm happy you said shut up and leave me alone.
Yeah, dude, he's not broke, so no, we're good. He's not about to feed that monster. So no.
Nah, good match. Did what it had to do. We knew we were going to win. We said multiple times, AJ, he's very adamant about, this being his, he's on the end of his career of it all, whereas Logan is really up and coming of it. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say which given what happened with Karrion Kross again, this dude was crashing out all weekend. He had a very interesting interview during the WrestleMania recap, and and he definitely it's not just about Logan Paul, but what he said about AJ Styles, and of course, this is actually one that I actually noticed through, especially in the aftermath of Mania going into Raw. I feel like they're really tapping into more realistic, organic moments like that. I was picking on that a whole lot this, and especially Cross was kind of leading the way on that. And I feel like if it is at all true, clearly you got some people who still ain't good with Logan Paul, and yeah, like I feel like if nothing else, like you had an opportunity, it was like, yeah, like let's take some of this shit back from the guys who just get their shit get their shit basically, like, delivered to them, like, hey, here's your spot at WrestleMania, enjoy, and yeah, like make them earn it, but yeah, it was fine, I guess, but yeah, like just the aftermath with Karrion, I'm like, that's the shit I want to see. Let's get into that.
Man, cut a timeless promo.
A bunch of them, like I said, like it's multiple, like all weekend, like even like at the shit at the damn Hall of Fame. It's like you don't know if it was real or not, but it felt real. It's like, oh shit. I say he's another one, like he lives in Vegas. I think he's from Vegas. Like he had the match at Bloodsport last week, but he had no match at Mania. It's like you would have thought that he was okay with where things were going, but clearly how he was building it over the weekend, it's like, nah, he's not cool with not having the WrestleMania in his hometown, a match in his hometown. So I think that, again, this next year for him, I feel like it's going to be super, super, super interesting.
For sure.
Yeah. Firstly, the match itself, all I have to say about that is any Logan Paul win is a loss for humanity. Secondly, what came
Gunther, we need you. Gunther, we need you.
Gunther, we need you. What came of that after with Karrion Kross's shoot promo on whatever podcast they did was either A, you're getting fired the next day, or B, you're getting pushed to the moon. And the fact that he was on TV the next day shows that he may get pushed to the moon, because people are finally starting to recognize what Karrion Kross is doing now. And he did a little vlog of the weekend where he was like, oh, this is the first time in a while where people are actually coming up to me and being like, yo, I really enjoy the work you're doing right now, as opposed to I really enjoyed the work you did in NXT. So it's starting to click for Karrion within the fans and hopefully within the top right. He's doing some of his best work for sure. He's doing the thing that Roman Reigns did over the past 4 years, where every little storyline he's sticking his nose into, and his influence is going across every single male focused storyline within the WWE, which I think is really good for him. And people are starting to notice, wait, he was there. Oh, he was there. Where is he going to be next? And so I think that's really big for him, and that's how he's going to get his big push. All this to say that this match didn't matter at all for anyone but Karrion Kross.
Honestly, yeah. He was very upset about AJ Styles having to lose to Logan Paul. Tag team titles changed hands just for it to change hands back. Gave Becky Lynch her moments in the sun for her return. Lyra Valkyria was Lyra 2 belts for 24 hours. It was okay match.
Actually, the thing that I want to point out is, of course, they made the angle out of Bayley getting attacked, I guess on Saturday, and in case y'all haven't seen, there's Bayley was on Chris Van Vliet over the weekend, and she has some really interesting things to say as far as just where she stands in the whole WWE structure and in the women's division. And she sounds like someone that kind of in the same vein with Karrion Kross, where it's like what more can she do to one be elevated even more, and probably in the same token kind of keep her spot, because I feel like she's done everything and she kind of still sees herself as where she's still not where she's not where Becky and Charlotte is. She's probably not where Rhea or Bianca is, and I feel like with the way things are going, she's probably seeing herself steadily sliding down further and further. And I think she mentioned I think she has like maybe like another year or so before her contract ends. Like I feel like it might just be a time where she kind of needs to check out some fresh scenery elsewhere, just to kind of just get a step back and get treated like she deserves.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your fellow fans are weird. That's all I gotta say. Like whoever
My
said
fans?
no, talk about the Packers.
Okay.
There's a guy who shaved a G into his hairy stomach. Like it's just
That's just wrestling stuff. I'm not wrestling. That's just football fan stuff. Don't put that all on the Packers. Also,
sure.
We saw that work harder, a little sly little sub that you just try to do, Devin.
But
I literally was just
but no, like I mean that's honestly, I think she has worked harder than most, and like she's put in the work, like whether it's behind the scenes, on screen.
I want to see her going to AEW, but also she might just have to go to AEW.
That's just it. Like she might have to. She might have to.
I will point out that this is part of the reason why Sasha and Naomi walked out way back when, is because they were being taken for granted. They were being super taken for granted in the same way that Bayley is right now. And
I mean, Go ahead.
I was gonna say Bayley is being a lot nicer about it, and she
for sure.
She really shouldn't be nicer about it. She just had one of the best year and a half, 2 year stretches of her career, at least the best of her career post injury.
Just lifting everybody up and helping out. Yeah.
Exactly, like lifting everybody up and then getting her time, excelling in her time, putting on a banger WrestleMania co-main event with Io, having a pretty solid title reign. And they're playing with her time by writing her off for a fake injury just so Becky Lynch can come back. Yeah. There was a better way to do it. You had Roxanne Perez versus Bayley right there on a silver platter for you. Yeah. I don't know why you don't take that. But man, I hope they figure it out with Bayley soon, because with the way she was talking about it, she seemed ready to be like, I know they're holding me.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, it really
is. I'm being nice about it, but I could not be nice about it.
Yeah, and she's always going to be nice about it. She's great.
Nice about it.
Yeah.
A lot of wrestlers were like that this weekend. If you didn't notice that, like
I said, they're tapping into something with that. I feel like it's not a coincidence, and
it's the TDE effect. How all the artists in TDE are just they're not letting me drop my album. Blah 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 blah. They get all the attention, and all of a sudden they drop a banger ass album.
Top dog.
I mean, there's always a touch of realism that you want to tap into, and within the work itself. But yeah, I feel as though we're definitely going to see a touch, a definite deep dive into more realism in the next year, and this is just the start of it. So, like I said, we'll see. Okay. Which leads us to the main event.
John Cena and Travis, with the help of Travis Scott, helping him beat Cody Rhodes.
I know we're kind of running late here, later than normal, but I think we need to talk about this.
So I've been seeing some just conversations about how it was almost purposefully bad to really get people to, again, think John Cena is ruining wrestling and make them hate him. And even And he got me right back on that promo on Monday. Like that's how fake I am. I was hating him, but just watching him like play the crowd like perfectly, like it was just like, I'm here. Like he's just counting down.
Now he's into it.
I don't even have to wrestle. I know I was shitting on John Cena, but he's just like, I don't even have to wrestle, and I was just like, oh my god, like he's just like it's like just super meta, like it's just like kind of beyond it, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
So, of course, the match happened. Honestly, a very weird match, and of course, that might have been playing into this method that Cena's kind of going into. But obviously, one of the bigger things is that Travis Scott made his return to confront Cody Rhodes, and I feel like Cody kind of got his lick back, but at the same time, he still kind of played himself because he kind of looked like too much of the fool here, but especially when Cena was like, don't hurt me, and then and then only to fall for getting the nut shot and everything. And obviously there's been so much fallout following the match so far this week, involving The Rock, because clearly The Rock was not there. He did not show up. And the thing about it is that The Rock came on Pat McAfee on Tuesday to, I guess, kind of explain his side of things as far as what he felt about the match. And
now he doesn't want to make it about him. What the fuck? Are we serious?
Dude, I like.
You already made it about Cody's soul or John Cena's soul, and now you want to be like, oh, let's not make it about me. What?
The final boss work is done. I'm like, boy. Okay. Here. There are so many fucking plot logic holes in this shit. It makes no fucking sense. Because what he tried to explain is that he was at Elimination Chamber because Ari Emanuel, the owner of Endeavor and TKO, essentially the owner of WWE now, he called Rock and said, "Hey, ticket sales are slow. We need you at we want you to come to Elimination Chamber." All in all, that the boost that they got from that was like essentially just 10,000 tickets. Every little bit counts, I guess. So for those of y'all that didn't see, of course, with all the crazy ass WrestleMania prices, WrestleMania was struggling to sell out until like pretty much the week of. So you're trying to tell me that you called him to show up for Elimination Chamber, but you wouldn't call him to show up for Mania, the biggest show of the year? Word. Also, you made up your own creative, because apparently the sole idea was his idea. You made all that up just to show up at Elimination Chamber, and then afterwards say, you know what? No, I'm good. I'm good. Like, and apparently, for whatever reason, they could not address it in a clean cut way, so that way he's out of the picture for Mania. Because I do feel like you could have addressed it to where you're not expecting him for Mania.
Damn, mid-sentence.
That's what you were talking about, the final boss.
Cut him off.
The final boss cut him off.
Vince cut his mic.
That's enough slander on the final boss.
But I mean, basically, he could have easily just been like, the final boss. You're lucky. I got some other things to do, but I know, like, he could have just been like, I got other things. Just come out and say it. I got other things I got to do, instead of just not showing up and then
not addressing anything. Not addressing anything. I'm like, why? Like, it's not like you're fucking Hornswoggle. You're one of the biggest fucking legends that the WWE has right now. You're literally on the board of TKO. So you should be out here trying to look out for the bottom line of TKO and WWE underneath that. and you just said, "No, I'm gonna just go ahead and just take my ball and go home." Like, no. Like, absolutely fucking not. Like,
Not expect a Hornswoggle.
Like, you can't just show up and then just act like, okay, we'll just like they'll just forget about me and just move on to focusing
little
on
old me.
Yeah, like no, like you are a big fucking chess piece. So again, like if you're not gonna be there, cool, that's not the issue. But at the same time, you started something that nobody's gonna care about you following up in fucking September. They were looking for this story to at least have a turn for WrestleMania, and you just said nah, like no.
In worst case, the fact that he didn't show up means we're gonna get more of Travis Scott.
And then on top of that, you kind of like undermine the direction that they ultimately did go. You're like, yeah, I would have done something different. Again, you're on the fucking team now. You are management now. That you're not just a fucking talent. You're not just a wrestler. Like you are on the board. Like their loss is your loss. And he's acting like, no, I'm a part of that because he was all willing last year to be like, yeah, this is all my idea. We all pivoted and we all decided, hey, I'm gonna go this way, and this is what we're gonna do for WrestleMania. Like now it's like, nah, that was I would have done a little different. Like, nah, this is your ship now. You are part of that ship now. So don't act like like you're separate from this. And you're the reason why it fucking happened in the first place. Like, no. Like this annoys me more than it probably should. But it's like, dog, it's fucking simple shit. It's like for someone who was a third generation wrestler who was all about, being about the traditions of wrestling and all that shit. Like there's sitting here that you just left shit fucking hanging and just did and acted like it wasn't your fucking fault. I'm like, dude, like you fucked up the main event because you want to throw a temper tantrum because you wanted to go face Roman and you didn't get your way. You said, no way, I'm gonna go ahead and take my ball and go home. Like you did what Austin did. Like you just ghosted everybody. I'm like, no. Like this was some bullshit, and you fucked up everybody else shit because you didn't want to communicate, and you did because you couldn't have your way. Like if he wasn't the biggest star in Hollywood, I would be like, no, like you got to go, dog. Like nah, like you can go to AEW for all this shit. Like fuck all this. like we've been dealing with this shit for the last 2 years, where it's like you want to come in when you want to and debo the creative and disrupt what they've done with their creative and had fans and like literally invested to where they wanted Cody in the main event last year because they're invested with Cody. And now this year they're like, yeah, like you're trying to just debo win again. And it's like, dog, like you ain't in on this. Like we have our people that we've been in the trenches with, and we want to see them succeed. And you're just trying to like, nah, it's gonna be about me or it's gonna be nothing at all. I'm like, go do a movie or something. Like, dude, like this shit gotta stop. End scene.
W rant. Great soapbox moment. Yeah, Triple H should have called Rock and told him to shut the fuck up live on the street. Because
actually, the funny thing there is that there's actually is like a promo that Triple H did last year, and it's almost like he's talking directly about The Rock without even saying. I'm like, I wonder if that was intentional or just part of the script. I was like, because like they've always had like Triple H and The Rock have always kind of had their thing both on screen and behind the scenes apparently, and it's like clearly there's some shit they still got to hash out that still ain't sitting right. But I'm like, dude, like if you're gonna be in it, fucking be in it. Like don't just half-ass this shit because you got guys, they got more than enough guys to where they don't have to rely on you. They don't. Like They sold out without him. So yeah.
I feel like that Triple H heard about the call. They were pretty much forced to put The Rock in at TKO Board's behest, and Triple H, knowing that, tried to fix this storyline through saying, "Oh, I'm going to ruin wrestling. You guys are going to get a nothing match." They put on a nothing match to make up for the fact that he knows that The Rock is not going to be there, and there's nothing he can do about it. Like the Rock was not going to be at Mania months in advance. They knew that was going to happen. So, hey, why do you bring him in at Elimination Chamber knowing that he's not going to be in that storyline? Two, Triple H does his best to fix the storyline to make it so that there's a nothing match, so that it's in story for this to be like, you're not supposed to feel anything at John Cena winning the 17th because the match was dead. Like, you're not, it was scheduled to be like that. It was booked to be like that because Triple H knew The Rock wasn't going to be there, and you have to adjust. If you're gonna hype the fans up for something and then not deliver on it, you have to write it in the story like, oh, by the way, John Cena said you're not getting shit in this match, so we're not giving you shit in this match. And that's what they delivered. And then The Rock goes on the Pat McAfee show and ruins it by just throwing kayfabe out the window. So it's
literally what he said.
And not just that, like when on Busted Open, of course, their host Dave LaGreca, he goes off on it on Monday. They showed a clip of it they posted a clip on it on Instagram. The Rock just commented on it last night, and he's doing it again like it's all the work. I'm like, dog, like, you're on the fucking team. Why do you want to just act like this shit doesn't fucking matter? Like you're supposed to, as someone who is responsible for the shit, and again, you're third generation. This is some shit that's something that some random person that hates wrestling says, not somebody's on the fucking TKO board. Like, dude, like why are you acting like such a fucking bitch just because they don't like what you did? Like, he's been fucking up so fucking much. And I'm like, dog, like, this is like, because this type of shit right here is how you lose fans. And it's like WWE has been riding so high the past couple of years, and it's like it'd be something like this where they fuck up so hard because they respecting you, and you didn't want to show up, and you gave the impression that you were going to be involved, and when you didn't show up, it let people down, and that's how you end up losing fans, and that's how people start getting worse. Like, yeah, we did fine here, but what's going to happen next few months? Where it's like, are they going to have as much faith in us to deliver because we didn't deliver here? And it's like, dog, this is why you follow through. Again, like this is such a fixable thing to do, to where if you're not going to be there, cut something where we know that you're not going to be there. Like you didn't have to leave things hanging to where it's like, okay, maybe he'll show up. It's like, why is Travis Scott there by himself? It's like you're not established like that to where people are going to be expecting you to be the reason why Cody loses. I'm like, no. Like, there's so much that got fucked up here, and I'm like, it's inexcusable. It really is. Like, this could have been good for, because one, you fuck up Cena's moment. That's sincere or not, like that you're winning the 17th world title. You're breaking players' record. Of course, the fans still ended up cheering for him anyway. And I'm like, that's even just it. Like, if you're trying to make him a heel for real, like because the creator's been so disjointed, it's like, hey, they're gonna do their own thing. Like, hey, we're gonna cheer John, like, because they haven't given us enough reason to boo him, so we're gonna cheer him. So again, if you had followed through, you might be able to get the boos that you want, and you didn't. So we end up fucking this shit up. So like, and of course, you made Cody look stupid. So it's like, dude, like, you're fucking up so fucking much because you want to act like a fucking bitch. Like, no. no.
Yeah, it fell completely flat. As good as a potential that it could have been. I think if at the very least, if he could have been there, it everything else that happened would have been completely fine. But it was such an alley-oop that he just decided to literally walk away from. Um,
And it was his
and
fucking creative. Like he made up that idea with the soul. Like the fuck is that? The fuck is
Grego.
that?
yeah, it pretty much, I mean, you can essentially say it kind of ruined everything that WrestleMania was building up to and had done up until that point. Like all the momentum, all the potential, all the good that every other match had up until that point, it really sucked the air dry out of it. And
Bone dry.
and
Vegas
again,
dry.
like of course, like as I mentioned earlier, like not every match has to be spectacular, but one, this was your main event. Your main event. That's one thing. Two, you had already built it up a certain way, and then to audible hard pivot, like it didn't catch with anybody. And I mean, and of course, like I said, Cena's the heel. You knew he was going to win. So it doesn't have to be like a spectacular story for it, but it has to still make sense. And for Travis Scott, of all people, just to come out there and like that's really when
It took
that's
so
where
fucking long to get
everybody
down there.
knew like this is about to go left. When Travis Scott showed up with
By himself.
by himself,
By himself.
everybody knew right then and there like this is about to go left in a bad way. And you got some making up to do. Like I'm cool with what happened Monday. That was awesome. Cena and Randy, obviously this is decades of rivalry. So that's a good candidate for him to start off with. But I mean, you like just the whole entire grade of WrestleMania it felt 2 grades just based off of that, where it could have been a historical like all-time WrestleMania. It really fell completely flat on its face for it. And there's really no excuse. It was such an easy fix. And I mean, we'll probably never talk about this ever again.
WrestleMania 42, Grego versus The Rock.
Luckily, I'm big enough to where that actually might be a decent match. But again, like it's such fixable shit to where you could have, like I say, if your idea was to make it about Cody and Cena, then you have to tie up that loose end for this moment. And so that way people focus on Cody and Cena. And even if you do eventually come back with this final boss shit, it actually like it's at a point where, people are still receptive to it. Now you've left a bad taste in so many people's mouths about your shit, about Cody's shit, about Cena's shit. It's like, they definitely have a lot of making up to do. I definitely think that what they did on Raw was at least a good start. I think that was probably the best Raw of the Mania that they've had in a few years. But yeah, like you decided to basically sabotage WrestleMania because you didn't get your way. You wanted to be a whiny ass bitch. And dog, like I said, we're granted things aren't always hot forever, but at the same time, this was an avoidable moment to where like people are now questioning Like, is this what about to be where things start to slide down because you wanted to, you wanted to whine about it? And I'm like be professional. Like I said, at the very least, finish things up to where if you need to go film a movie or go sit on the beach in Hawaii, you can do that shit. I feel like you didn't want to do that, and you didn't care if everything else got fucked up, and like that looks bad on them, and it really looks bad on you. And of course, you're already dealing with all this bad PR anyway the past few years. I'm like, dog, how about you just aim for a W once in a while? Like, stop leaning into these bullets. Like, be smarter.
You thought the PR was bad before. Just wait.
And remember, the wrestling crowd, that's his core audience. Like, you about to lose them too? I'm like, dog, like, what else you got?
Just wait. That roast of WrestleMania that happened afterwards, I heard was the worst thing that could have happened.
It was as bad as everybody thought it was going to be. Like, people are trying to leak the audio. They're trying to get it removed. I'm like, dog, like that shit was like y'all knew this was a bad idea, and it was bad as
soon as you heard who's headlining that, who's running that. No.
And apparently, Nia Jax had some feelings to get off her chest, and
apparently a lot of people had some feelings to get off their chest.
Yeah, I did see a lot of people were very upset about
that.
I know.
Paul Heyman had some.
Paul said his shit for McAfee. like on the next day.
I know, that was funny. Paul's rant. It sounded like old boy wrote it for him, and he was just reading what old boy read for him. I don't know. What
happened on Monday though? That was all him.
Yeah, when he was going at McAfee and talking about the smoking and Stephen A. Smith and all that stuff, that was hilarious. I say that was when all the Shannon Sharp stuff started to come out. Like, so he was already loading in on that. I was like, dude, he was on one on Monday. All right, well, we got to get out of here. I'm probably going to have to drop this in 2 parts.
This was the WrestleMania edition of your favorite wrestling podcast. Like, if anything else, this probably should be our biggest episode of the year. So yeah, like again, it left us with so much shit to like talk about, good and bad, that it was just such a weird weekend because like I felt like night one you kind of had like an okay mid card, but the main event delivered. On night two, the mid card over delivered, and that main event was absolute shit. And one last thing, like, people, the one thing you don't want to do is like leave people with a bad taste at the end of the show, because that's the one thing that they remember the most. And I feel like that one is just so god awful that, you know, and it's so weird because of course they just had the WrestleMania 9 documentary. I'm like, what is about Vegas to where they have crazy stupid ass endings? I'm like, dog, like, do better, please.
Oh man, shoot! Now I'm ready for SmackDown though. I'm very excited for SmackDown.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get out of here. Greg, I'll say the thing.
This is your favorite wrestling podcast. Got Bleep BFM. Devin the Dude. Crunch Chocolate. You got your boy Grego here. If you can't be good, show up for your fucking promos.